Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. April is designated as the month of the military child. This is a time to remember that when a parent serves in the military, their children are called to service as well. Sometimes it's extra chores around the house. More often, it's supporting a peer during deployments that can last a month or as long as a year. Vermont 4-H works in partnership with Military Kids Vermont to offer programs for these young women and men. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the programming has moved online. For these military kids, it's another way to demonstrate resilience in the face of adversity. Across the Fence's Keith Silva has our story of what it's like to grow up as the daughter of a military dad.
Ginny Moultrup is a dancer.
I do ballet, contemporary hip hop, and then jazz dances for recitals.
Of all her performances, there's one she can't forget. Jenny remembers she was in the 4th grade and her dad was there. Vermont National Guard Chief Warrant Officer 2, Matthew Moultrup.
My dad was away. He was missing my dance recital, and then he came and he surprised me, and he came and watched. I was really upset that he couldn't be there, and then he showed up and it made me so happy. But I'm just lucky that I got that experience because most military kids, they don't get that. And that's really hard because parents in the military can miss birthdays or dance recitals or big events in their kids' life.
Missing events in their children's lives is often the norm for service members. It's a complicated set of circumstances, and so too are the emotions military kids feel when mom or dad is away.
I don't know how to describe it. But there's a lot of feelings all mixed in together because when they're gone for such a long time, you're sad, and then there are times when you're happy because you're distracted from it, and then there are other times that you're upset because you just wanted to see your parent again. So when he's gone, it's harder because we all miss him. And then it's also harder because there's a lot of stuff he does that when he's not here, my mom has to do it. There's a lot more that she has to do when he's gone.
Most of Moultrup's friends aren't from military families, which makes it hard to share with them what she's feeling when her dad is deployed.
I think it's important for other kids to know that it might not seem like it's the hardest thing, but it can be for a lot of kids because it's not your parent goes away for a few months once every few years. It happens a lot. A parent can be gone for more than a year at some time, so it's really hard to only have one parent around. But I feel something that's helpful is just to try and understand the situation a bit better.
Vermont is one of 8 U.S. states, territories, and districts without a military base. For the approximately 2,300 military dependents living in Vermont, that can feel isolating. The Vermont National Guard Family Readiness Center at Camp Johnson in Colchester helps combat that isolation. Last year, I spoke with the lead Child and Youth Program Coordinator with the Vermont National Guard, Brian Studnauer.
Keith, their mom or dad signed up for the military. They did not. And so they were brought into this world being a military dependent. And the challenges and struggles that they go through as an individual are going to be more than a typical teenager, than a typical youth. And so it's super important to have programs and services for them to support them in their times of need.
Try Northwest.
Studnauer runs camps during school vacations and in the summer, like this drone camp that was held in partnership with UVM Extension 4-H. These events build lifelong friendships for these kids.
They have a network of peers, actual military youth peers that they connect to. Just sets them all at ease and allows them to talk about the issues that are present for them being in military dependent youth.
Moultrup enjoys going to the camps and connecting with other kids.
It's really fun because you get to just go. It's basically summer camp and it's a week and you just go, but everybody else who's there is a military kid, and it's really nice because even if you don't want to talk about having a parent gone, you know that you have friends that you can talk to about it. So that's nice. when somebody else has gone through the same thing, they can relate to you, and they can also help by like having like strategies to like help deal with it.
One of the strategies Moultrup learned at camp has served her well in other parts of her life.
Like one of the things we do at the camps is resiliency training. And so like that, it's really boring. Like I'm not gonna lie about that, it's really boring, but it's important because it helps dealing with like when a parent is gone, but it also helps with other things. Like last year in school I had to build a CO2 car, and that was really hard because I had to restart so many times, but the resiliency training helped me know how to get through that without getting super upset.
Building resiliency has helped Ginny Moultrup stay on her toes, on the stage and as a military kid. In Essex Junction, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.
Thanks to Keith and Ginny. We want to salute Ginny's dad, Chief Warrant Officer 2 Matthew Moultrup, for his service. Thank you. For many of us, getting outside has been a saving grace during these difficult times. A walk by a lake, pond, or stream is a perfect way to provide solace and space at a safe distance. Anglers have been drawn to these peaceful places for eons, with the promise of landing that prize catch. And now that trout season is here, I want to talk with an author of numerous books on fishing in Vermont, Peter Shea. I asked Peter what makes Vermont a special place for anglers of all ages.
Vermont is special because, especially here in the Northeast, we've got the good fortune of having lots of places with wild trout. A good portion of Vermont's covered with places that have wild brookies. It's nice. And it's beautiful. We have some of the most beautiful places to fish that you'd want. And we also have like great access. I mean, basically, if land's not posted, you can park off the road, you can go fish the stream. And in a recent book, found out this is like unbelievable. Up in the Northeast Kingdom, for example, Fish and Wildlife has actually purchased access along, there's 4 rivers up there, 60 miles of public access owned by Fish and Wildlife. We identify some of that in the different streams up there, the Barton, the Clyde, the Willoughby, and the Black.
Right. So in your Vermont trout streams, you have some of those identified, as well as things like wheelchair access.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's it's been a special issue for me over the years. I'd like to see that, and there should be certainly more of them. But there are several that I've included both in books on lakes and ponds and in the streams as well. And that's an important part of access as well.
Fantastic. And why do you recommend fishing now? And what do we need to think about around social distancing and this situation we're in now?
Well, this is perfect now because fishing is naturally social distancing. I mean, personally, 600 feet is good. 6,000 feet is even better. But certainly with a family, especially getting the family outdoors into some sunshine, some fresh air, they can go as a unit. It's $26 for an adult license, and you could have a bunch of kids with you on that. If you're under 15, it's fishing for free if you're with an adult. And you can get a spinning outfit, rod, reel, line, a bobber, a few hooks, some worms, under $100, and that can be shared within a family. So, I mean, it's just a great activity to get involved in, and it's naturally socially distancing, believe me. You see a car parked and generally move on. And people go with friends. Nowadays, you could go drive in tandem, 2 cars.
Right.
And you keep your distance, which we do anyhow, but maybe there'd be a shared lunch that you're going to take a pass on. But it fits like a T.
Okay. And do you prefer lakes or streams? You've written books about both.
I'd have to say lakes and ponds have won me over. And this is basically because I love to camp, in the Green Mountains and the wilderness areas that we have in Vermont. Many times you can have a lake or pond all to yourself. So, plus you can get some bigger brookies in the lakes and ponds. Lots of fish I catch are small, but occasionally you get some really nice native fish, and they're just beautiful.
And trout's your favorite. Why trout?
they're magically beautiful. They're just a beautiful fish. They only love clean water, beautiful environments. And if you're lucky enough to catch one now and then, they're pretty good eating.
Tropical Storm Irene did have impacts on the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Hatchery Program and also fishing in general. Just quickly, is that impact still felt?
Still felt. Like the White River, for example, is not quite recovered. The Roxbury Fish Hatchery was wiped out completely. And that they started just reconstruction on that. It was 75% done. It was going to be done by the fall. It's a stay-at-home work order now, so that's on hold. There's a federal hatchery in Bethel that was also damaged. Not quite sure where they're at. They're not that involved with Vermont's programs at this point. But I want to say I've been at fishing little brooks in the wake of Irene with like wood and trees dropped all over the place, manning to fish. The brookies love it. Catching fish every place we cast, and it's just encouraging to think there's hope there that, you know, nature's got a way of taking care of itself too.
Yeah. So what do we need to know about regulations about fishing and harvesting trout and other fish?
More than you used to, so I'm not going to try to go into it deeply. There are different regulations on lengths and the type of species and where, and even calendars within calendars. Compared to other states, it's not really that complex, but Fish and Wildlife has a wonderful website that you could visit. They got a ton of information on it there. There's also, if you buy a license, you know, you get a physical license somewhere you purchase, there's a guide that comes with it. It's got lots of information and the regulations. So they should just check that, buy your license, and follow the law.
Thanks, Peter. If you'd like to read one or two of the many books Peter has written about fishing in Vermont, contact your local bookstore. They're sure to get you outfitted with the best book for your next fishing adventure. And that's our program for today. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Take care.